Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue with the Aquarius birthday people. So we're going to continue with the reading for the people that are very soon to have their birthdays. So to celebrate them, we're going to have these readings. I don't know how long I'm going to continue with this series, but I'm going to try to do as much as possible. But then I will shift and continue with other styles of readings as well, so we don't get bored. But thank you so much to the people that are always giving me feedbacks about the videos. I truly appreciate it. I really learn a lot about this, and soon I'm going to be posting on my community about that I'm opening a TikTok account to let you know about the readings that I upload, in case you probably don't have the time to check it out, or you don't get the notifications. So if you are interested, you can look for them. And also because I want to expand my audience. I'm a bit hesitant about, having new people in my channel, because you probably know my how I work, and the few things that I do not do with the tarot, or about reading celebrity or idols. So I don't know if I'm going to be popular, but for me it's better to be understood and appreciated for my interpretation of the tarot, and not to be a psychic, or a quote unquote. I'm not a sorcerer, I'm not a medium, I'm nothing of that sort. I use the tarot for therapeutic reasons and as a tool of self-discovery. So you know me. There's no need to clarify it. But if you're new and you are listening to this is how I do things. So let's start with Taehyun, TXT Taehyun. Taehyun without a G. He is an Aquarius with a moon in Scorpio. And a very prominent Mars in Aries. There's something about him that reminds me a lot about Aries energy, especially the shape of his lips. He definitely reminds me a lot of Aries energy. He does have this sort of, he looks like a volcano or something about to explode. There's something about his temper. I don't know how to explain this, because it's not aggression. It's not that he's aggressive, but I think that he can be very straightforward and outspoken when he wants to, and probably he does have this outburst out of nowhere. So at least this is what I sensed energetically about him. I do not follow his activities, or the content of the group, except for the music, of course. So I don't know how he behaves, but whenever I read for him, I always read a sense of tension, and a sense of, like, a lot of emotions, like ready to go out of control, in the sense that, for him to be like, okay, I'm done with this, or I don't want anything to do with this, or I cannot stand this, something like that. He's very clear about what he likes and what he doesn't like. So whenever I pull cards for him, I sense in my body this sort of tension, and in this also this sort of strong feeling of, I I permit this, or I do not, or allow this in my life, or I do not allow this in my life. A very determined kind of energy, which is very admiring, because I actually don't get this very often. Actually, this feeling, this sort of feeling in my guts, about him being very intense. and I can feel it in my body. So it's weird. It's a mix of, it's not frustration, it's not a negative emotion, but it's this sense of that he can go from 0 to 100 in a second, and he definitely has a lot of energy stored in him. And this is not something that I get a lot for Aquarius people or Aquarius idols. So it's interesting, actually. So let's start with the tarot cards that he got. He got the Ace of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles in reversed, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles in reversed. And then the card from the Oracle of the Chakras, I pulled the card of Perseverance. So yes, starting off with the Ace of Swords that is coming out a lot in the readings, not only for idols, but I also get this a lot with my clients. So probably this is a year that it's going to be very guided by the need to speak our truths, to go forward with, to move forward with our real thinking, how we really think about things and how we really perceive them, and actually to not allow other people to silence our voice or our opinions. So this, I always relate, and I'm not the only one, but I always take the swords suits as cards that have a lot to do with the internet as well, social media as well. So, probably it's not just talking or communicating with words, with voice. It can actually be like a post or, like a written comment, something like that. I think that he does have a lot to say, and not in a way of you being like, oh, he has like complaints. No, he has a sort of powerful speech or message. He is the kind of person that it's the deliverer of these awkward truths. He probably says or communicates a lot of things that are pretty obvious and that are truths, but that some people are very uncomfortable to speak on it. And I think that he does have these moments where you listen to him and you're like, wow, that's deep. Or that's a bit uncomfortable. Like, I didn't expect you to say this, but now I'm impressed. So, which I'm going to tell you, he does have a bit of a rebel energy. So probably he does have controversial, according to other people, of course, like quote unquote controversial opinions. But he just flows with his opinion, or he just delivers them like just like this. So like a cat, like when you cut someone with a sword, the Ace of Swords. So it's like you don't give them time to judge you, because it's like you said it. You just said it. I think that he definitely surprised a lot of people with how outspoken he is. And he will continue to do this. He will continue to do this. Because there's a level of inconformity in him. And I don't think that it has to do with the group, or it has to do with the company, or it has to do with how he works. No, it has to do with his own essence. I think he's going to be that kind of idol that he's not going to talk negative about his experiences being an idol, but he's going to tell you things like the way they are. Like he's not going to sugarcoat things. And probably if he and the other members or the other trainees that he met, if they went through a rough time to be where they are today, which of course they were because of their hard work and a lot of training process, he's going to tell you his experience the way he experienced it. He's not going to be like, oh yes, we are here, thank you to the fans and only to the fans. No, it also has to do with their hard work. And with a lot of sacrifices that you make to be on the spotlight. I think that it has to do with the public's, of course, reaction and interaction with you, with the artist, but it also has to do with your willpower to continue to provide. Because you don't become famous just because you are pretty and that's all. There's a lot of work behind that, a lot of work and a lot of willpower. This is why he got the card of persistence or perseverance here, because you need to keep going. Sometimes you are not fully satisfied, or sometimes things don't happen the way you want to, but you have to keep going anyways. Then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, so it's good news because actually I think that he's starting the year feeling a bit more hopeful about his future projects. I think that he's slowly like unleashing a lot of potential, and probably he's really proud of everything that they had accomplished in the past. I think that he is slowly walking away here with the Eight of Cups. He's slowly walking away from the feeling of being disappointed. I think that I read for him last year, and he had this sort of sense that he didn't like the cutesy or cute concept. He wanted to do something more edgier. And after they released their last album, he finally got that moment to show himself, to show his potential as this very emotional artist, and to talk and to sing very deep and conflicted lyrics. I think that he's definitely a performer that he enjoys to talk or to perform with a concept that has to do with fear, with loss, with desperation, with not the so bright and positive side of, oh come on, cheer up, life is beautiful. For him, he's very adaptable because, well, he's an Aquarius, but there's a side of him that he's very emo. That he is very like he loves dark concepts. There's something about him that but I think that it's because he goes through that as a person, so he wants to think about it. I'm sure it must be easy to talk about being happy and hopeful when you're feeling not your best. I sense that he's a very emotional person, so he must have had his moments of not feeling so well, or feeling a bit of chaos inside of himself. So he's still searching for himself. This year is also going to be a year of a lot of self-discovery. Here with the Eight of Cups, he's slowly like getting rid of old skin, and he's like leaving his past. He's like moving on finally from this emotional state that he was a bit caught on. He was a bit like caught in this feeling of despair. There was something very emotional here. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it has to do with, probably has to do with his personal life, you know, that he wasn't very satisfied with himself. And now he's slowly transforming himself, and he's slowly like learning to value what he had accomplished, you know, and not seeing everything so negative. Because he does have his moments, you know. Like I mentioned, he goes from 0 to 100. He has his high and lows. So, well, he is a moon Scorpio, so it makes sense that he's so emotional. Um, but I think that the difference of this year is that he's going to speak about it. So, um, probably part of his healing is this. It's about to speak up. It's about to talk about the things that some people are really uncomfortable talking about, you know, and they probably are like, oh, an idol shouldn't be addressing these subjects, or an idol shouldn't be talking about this sad stuff, you know. And actually he loves sad stuff, you know, like in the sense that he loves the reality of, you know, facing your fears and facing that you probably are not feeling your best, and just say it, you know, say it. I feel awful. I don't like this. You know, this is why there's something about his energy that he's like very blunt, and he cannot lie to himself. So if he cannot lie to himself, if he cannot pretend, he cannot pretend with others, you know. It doesn't matter if you put a camera on his face. Um, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles in reversed. So the first, these first 3 months, I think that he's slowly going to. I know that they are preparing something because the Pentacles are here, so obviously there's resources, or there's an initiative to keep producing. But I think that this production is going to be a bit stuck, or a big block, because these two Pentacles cards are in reversed. So it means that probably the resources will come and they will be able to work on them, but it's not going to be that fluent. Probably they will have to wait a few months to actually be able to release something new, because I definitely sense that the prosperity is here, but somehow I don't know if maybe there are other priorities, or there are other things that the company are putting their attention on. So they are like, okay, guys, wait a bit. You will have your comeback, or you will have your activities, but now we need to solve this first. So I think that this is something that actually he feels really uncomfortable with. You know, he doesn't like to be put on hold or something like that, you know, because the Seven of Pentacles is about patience. You know, it's about you waiting for the whole process of growing to develop, you waiting. It's like, you know, you have the resources, you know that you are talented, but somehow life forces you, or events forces you to wait, and to not get upset because you wait, you know, because like the efforts are already there. So it's not like no one is watching you, or no one is seeing your efforts. It's just that sometimes material decisions, or business decisions, or finances, you know, it's a whole management. And I think that there's something about the management of the money when it comes to them that actually he's a bit unsatisfied with. I don't know if he does pay attention to the numbers, or if he does pay attention to how much other groups get, and he's like, oh, but we are not getting the same, you know. So he's like, I can see that when it comes to us, the things are a bit slow, or a bit delayed, and when it comes to other groups, you resolve things right away. or you pulled resources out of nowhere to finish their projects. And when it comes to us, we have to wait and we have to almost beg or pray for the things to go smooth. So I think that that's the ugly truth that he has in his mind, that he's like, okay, I'm not going to obsess about this. Like, I'm not going to pay extra attention to him because, this is very Moon in Scorpio actually. He is very intuitive. I talked about the Moon in Scorpio a lot, because I have it, a lot of idols have it, especially the one of the populars have it. So you can be any sign. But when you have a Moon in Scorpio, sometimes when you sometimes see the ugliness of things and people. And you cannot help to see it. You cannot unsee it. You cannot be like, oh, I didn't see this happen. You cannot deny. And it's a bit uncomfortable because it seems like you're always looking for something negative, but no, it's actually because the negative or the ugliness is always there, like a sort of camouflage with all the pretty things. So I think that when you are a Moon in Scorpio in an entertainment, in entertainment business, or in the industry of entertainment, where they try to cover everything so it looks pretty, but beneath all that, there's a lot of deception and a lot of ugliness and a lot of darkness. When you see all those indications in, this sort of, you cannot help but to watch it. So I think that he had troubles before because he started to see that, and I'm not saying that the group is not getting attention or resources. I'm just saying that sometimes things, they are like, oh yes guys, you're going to get this, and then when the time comes, they are like, oh no, not now, we are going to focus on something different. And they are like, but you said to us, like, he perceives it, and right now he's like in this mode of, I'm not going to pay attention to this because it makes me feel uncomfortable. I make others feel I make the other members feel uncomfortable. They also see it. So to not make things worse, it's better to just wait. Wait for things to develop the way they have to be, and we will have our moment when we have it. But there's this sense like, like this is not fair, something like that. So yeah, there's something also about them not feeling supported or defended enough. Like they don't feel like they are defended, and I don't know why they need to be defended, but or defend. But there's a sense like, you should take care more of us, like, and I think that he probably said something in the past and he regrets it, because somehow the relationship with these people that he said something in front of, they don't treat him the same because of what he said. They are a bit upset with him, so he's like, okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But it's not going to last long, because actually he starts with the Ace of Swords. So is his sort of superpower. His superpower is to talk about things that no one wants to talk about. The ugly truth. He's really cool. I really like him. Guys. I like all TXT members, but I like he sort of has this visceral reaction. He sort of has this sort of allergy to I don't know if I can say it here. I'm going to say BS. Yes, I'm going to say BS. He has allergies to BS, so he cannot control himself, you know. But here with the card of the oracle, the card of perseverance, definitely is like that he should keep going, you know. It doesn't matter the obstacles, the delays. He is where he deserves to be, and he had worked really hard to be there. So the group is going to do great. It doesn't matter the obstacles or the delays, like I mentioned. They have to keep persevering. They have to keep like contacting with the perseverance, you know, because they are going to have a great year. It's just that probably the first months are not going to go that smooth. So probably for him it's not easy to be you know, because this what I said, there's something that happened in the past that he somehow is a bit disappointed, and yes, this is showing me like I'm sorry that I cannot talk about, you know, actually like actions that they're going to take or everything, because I don't see action. I see a lot of reflection of him, and I see his perception of what happened and what is going on. You know, I don't see actions. I here don't see wands. I don't see the element of fire. So I think that they will have a start this year. They will have their activities, of course, but it's going to take a while. You know, and probably they are in this mode right now. They are waiting. They are waiting to come back or to have a comeback. But yes, they need to be perseverant. You know, they need to keep going. He needs to keep going, because I think he's going to be very successful in the future. And actually, he's going to survive this industry because of that honesty of his and that allergy to BS that I mentioned. You know, probably now he feels like he doesn't belong, like, because sometimes when you see, like I mentioned, when you see the ugliness of a situation where everyone worships everything, you are like, oh, I'm the one that is wrong here, because I'm the only one that sees the negative thing, and everyone is so supportive, and I feel like I am the one that is wrong. But actually, he's not wrong. If he has the ability, the intuition to see things, it's because he definitely has a gift. It's just that probably this is not the right time, or this is not the right industry to raise up your hand and being like, oh, I have something to say, you know, about the way you manage things, because I think that you're doing an awful job, you know. And this is a industry that is based on appearance, guys. It's based on appearance, and it's based on covering everything up and selling a fantasy of perfection. So if you question that perfection, of course you are going to be, people are going to look ugly at you. You know, they're going to give you the ugly look. They're going to be like, oh, how dare you, you know. So yes, he's going to do great. He's going to do great. I love his honesty. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.